Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. It's good to be with you, and it's good to have you. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Wanda, Bilbrey, my visit to the prosecutor's office did not go well at all, he says. Oh, no. Well, that doesn't sound good. Do you have that on video, or are you going to be putting it up? I'll have to tune in and watch it if so. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I also had a visit that didn't go well today. I went to the Delaware County building and participated in my Delaware County election process, and it didn't go well either. Well, it went as planned, but it didn't go. It went as expected, but it didn't go as planned. And we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about this crazy, crazy ass sheriff in Henry County, man. We're going to be talking about the commissioners meeting in Henry County. And we're going to be talking about the ever growing split in the Republican Party. The Delaware County Republican Party is facing a very serious issue. An issue in which really they have never faced a situation this serious before. This is a massive split that is growing. Some think that it's growing around this right here is the split. I would say that that's not exactly true. This is a big problem. That's a big reason. But the split was growing beforehand, and it will be growing ever more afterwards. And we're going to be talking about it all. Thank you for being here. Hey, if you are following local politics, if you're interested in the goings-on of local politics, if you're interested in the goings-on of state politics, if you're interested in the goings-on of federal politics, if you're interested in learning how we as citizens need to interact with our government, what should be expected, what should not be expected, what we can do when these certain things happen, how to act, record request, how to get educated about your candidates, how to interact with elected officials, then this is the place for you, the Political Spotlight. And I would like to invite all of you, no matter where you're watching from, please come over to YouTube. You will have a better experience, not because I care where you watch from, but the majority of our viewers are watching from YouTube. So the comments that come up on the screen, you will want to watch, and you'll be able to interact on YouTube. You'll be able to comment from Facebook or Twitter or whatnot, but you won't be able to see everyone else's comments unless they go up on the screen. And while producer Kate does a great job of getting a lot of comments up, she doesn't get all of the comments up. So I just invite you to come over to YouTube. When you come over to YouTube, create a profile name. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Come right on over. Do that. Subscribe to the channel, The Political Spotlight. It's very easy. Subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. While you're there, go down and like all of our videos, but watch the videos too. Like them, specifically like this video. And then also, if you would and if you could, like this episode, hit the bell. All right. If you could, that would be fantastic. And then comment. If you're watching this live, we would like you to comment in the live chat box over on the right-hand side. And if you're watching this on repeat, you can comment below. But above all else, we just ask you to share the show with everyone you know. That's the most important. You can connect with us on YouTube at youtube.com/@thepoliticalspotlight. I ask for you to connect with me on Facebook. If you have Facebook, you can find us. You can find me at facebook.com/Bilbrey318. You can also find us at The Political Spotlight on Facebook. All of that stuff's there. We do interact on Facebook. We interact on X. You can find me on you can find Bilbrey on X, running around on X, Twitter. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is I think it's Bilbrey Live is what we are on there. The Political Spotlight on Facebook is The Political Spotlight. It's facebook.com/Political Spotlight 318. Political Spotlight on Twitter is Bilbrey Live, and my Facebook, which is where I post a lot of stuff, even more than really the Political Spotlight, is Bilbrey 318 there. And then, of course, we ask for you to hit us up on TikTok. We've been using TikTok. We've been doing some TikTok stuff. I won't lie. I've been kind of caught up in the who TF did I marry? That whole drama that has been unfolding there. So go there and watch some of our content there. I actually released a 10-minute video there the other day that is a TikTok exclusive. It's only there on TikTok, so that's kind of crazy. I did that for the first time. It was kind of interesting just to see. I guess I unlocked the 10-minute feature. I didn't know I had a 10-minute feature there. I thought, oh, look at that. So we did that. But most of our content is here on YouTube, Sunday through Thursday. So that's what's important. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Hey, today was a day, folks. It was a day. So, first of all, I feel like I probably need to give a grandparents update. I think I did that at the end of the show last night. Last night I was working and I ended up falling asleep in the chair, and I woke up at like 3:30, and I was like, "Oh crap, I'm not there." So I will be going to my grandparents' house tonight when I get off of here. My grandmother is doing much better in the rehab. She is now in a good rehab facility. She's doing well. And she's, I think we've turned the corner. I think we turned the corner with her situation, and we are all uphill, downhill from here. It's all downhill from here. I think that sounds bad. I think to me, sometimes uphill's better. Downhill sounds bad. I'm going downhill and I'm going fast. So no, I think it's uphill. So I don't know. She's walking on a flat plane. Everything's great from here. She's like floating basically. Grandpa's doing good. He's out of the woods with the norovirus. We're able to keep on the same pair of pants and underwear. So I did not get it. Thank God. I'm still praying and doing all the things. I do not want to get the norovirus. And I've heard, folks, it is a bad one. Do not get it if at all possible. It is very, very bad. Okay, we had a long show last night, and you run a background on the facility. Da, 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 da. I was just looking at some of the comments there. I just clicked over to the comment section. I love when you guys comment. The split is a myth. Bilbrey is making it up. Sorry, folks. Mike Jones temporarily seized control of my account. Everything is fine now. Listen, what you guys don't get to see. So I recorded the meeting today, and what you don't get to see is literally as I am. So I'm sitting next to the wall. I'm doing my thing, just living life the way that I'm supposed to be living. Now, I go to this meeting fully expecting that they are going to start the meeting. I'm talking about the Delaware County election meeting. We're going to get to this a little bit further down the road, but I just want to tell you this story before we get started. So we go to this election meeting, and I'm sitting in the same seat basically I've always sat, okay? And so I go in there, and I'm doing my thing, and they call the meeting to order. And they're like, okay, well, we're ready to make a decision. And I'm like, no, we're not ready to make a decision. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? We're not ready to make a decision. When we last met, it's like these people don't know how it works on soap operas. This is a soap opera, right? You guys like the drama. You guys like they flip the script. They make it seem like I like the drama. I do not. I want a government that works appropriate. I want a government that's supposed to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. If we had a government that was functioning like it's supposed to, small, basically almost just right at efficient without getting too crazy and out of the way of the citizens, then I would be doing a podcast about Paul McCartney's Return to Base right now. We could be talking about Hannibal coming over the Alps on elephants. We could be doing a musical history podcast combined. We could be, just sitting around, and we could be doing a comedy podcast or something like that. But no, because government is broken, I don't get to do something fun. We get to keep our foot on their necks and try to make sure that their foot isn't on our neck, and try to educate the citizens so we can change it. So one of these days I can do a musical podcast or a comedy podcast, or maybe no podcast at all, just live a life. That would be what in the world? That would be amazing. Okay? So it's not me that likes the drama. But it's like these people love the drama, but then they forget what to do. So we are in this meeting today, and we get there, and they're like, okay, well, we're ready to make a decision. And I'm like, no, I haven't had my rebuttal. And they're like, we don't get to do a rebuttal. And I'm like, a rebuttal? What do you mean? I was like, we've always done that in the past. And they're like, well, I don't think we have. And I'm like, well, we have since 2019. And I know that we've done that before. And they all sit around and look at each other and chuckle. And they're like, well, Kristopher, do you want to come right up and do a rebuttal? And look, it didn't matter because they wanted to go in. They wanted to say meeting open, meeting adjourn, because they knew what they were going to do. It didn't matter what I said. It didn't matter. It didn't matter what I had to say. They didn't care. They didn't listen. And it did not matter. Okay. They were letting me run the show because they just didn't want to hear my mouth. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's kind of good. But I wish that they would have done the right thing. I don't know. It's kind of strange. So we get to this meeting, and I'm sitting there, I'm sitting right here. You can see in this thing, I'm sitting in the same chair I was last time. And the 3 election board members are here. The seat is empty here as we wait for the attorney. And then this seat down here is my seat where, the person testimonying would be. Well, I pan the camera over at one point. Let me see if I want to show you this as we get ready to start. I pan the camera over at one point. I'm going to try to find out see when exactly I do that. See exactly when I do. Okay, right here we go. Right here. All right, I just want to show you this
sound system.
Okay. Pan the camera over. All right. Now let me show you here real quickly. All right. So we start with the pan. All right. Here's Ed Carroll. He's Republican Party chair. Here is Anna Quirk. She's the Democrat Party chair. Then these 2 seats are empty. Then down here, we've got veteran journalist Steve Lindell and David Pinnicuff. Okay. All right. That's who we've got going down there. Then we've got the election board, which is Republican Peter Drum. He's an attorney. Clerk Rick Spangler. He's a Republican. And then attorney Joe Hunter. He is the Democrat. And then over here in the corner, you've got Josh Talby, which I don't know why he's there. He used to work in the clerk's office, but he now works in the auditor's office. So it's like he's just down there chilling. Over here in the corner, seated behind Joe Hunter, is Bradley Bookout. Then we spin around here, and we've got, I think these were some, I don't know who these people are. Then we've got Tim Nickum. He's a citizen over here with talking to Sherry Riggin. Then we've got a lady from the League of Women's Voters over here. And then we've got, I think, the secretary from the commissioner's office and Pam McCammon from HR over there. And then we've got Steve Brand here. He's a candidate running for commissioner. And then out in the hallway the entire time, there's plenty of chairs. Okay, there were some other chairs. There were chairs between Ed and I. There were a couple chairs over here. All right, there's one chair here that he could have grabbed. And there are at least 2 or 3 chairs over this way. All right, that James King could have sit in. But for some reason, he's like, nope, I'm not going to sit. I'm not going to sit. I want to stand, breathing down Bilbrey's neck right over his right shoulder. Made me just, it was like, good, dude, get off me. It was kind of weird. He's just standing out in the hallway over my shoulder. I think he wanted to watch the meeting through my phone. So it's cool with me. So he chilled out there and did all of that. Well, right as I get up to go to testify, none other than America's favorite stamp licker walks into the building. And he sits down and he pulls his phone out like this. Perfectly fine. And I guess he turns it on or something. And he extends his arms out just as far as he can get his Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. And he reaches them out and he's got this thing in my face, which is like, I'm fine with that. But he's like clicking and he's just sitting over there smiling and his little nose is twitching. And it's like, what is happening with this? Like, I mean, I get that you're videoing me, dude, but like you've at least got an iPhone or a Samsung that's got a really damn good camera on it. Like you could literally get up inside my nose hole from back here. You don't have to extend your arms so weird like that. Like I wanted to stop and help him out, but I didn't. He did his thing. I'm assuming there are going to be some great pictures of me coming soon. I can't wait to see him, or they do these weird things. Maybe he plasters them all over his ceiling. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking like that. He goes and gets AI, and it's got me running on the beach with my shirt off. Maybe that's what it is. I don't really know, but I could have saved him the time and trouble. I'll send Mike Jones whatever pictures he wants. Let me know. I should have Stumblefoot. How many county employees were there? Well, let's see. This was in the middle of the day, so you've got the auditor was there, and it's like, I know the auditor's the county Republican Party chairman, but he wasn't challenging anybody. He wasn't testifying, so I don't really think he should have been there. And with all of the issues in the auditor's office, maybe he should have been in the auditor's office and working. So he was there. That's one. If this would have been held down in the commissioner's courtroom, it would have been audio and video recorded. He could have watched from the YouTube link, or hell, he could have watched from our YouTube link. You know what I mean? Like that. So he could have not been there. He could have been working. So that's one. Josh Tolby is two. Ryan, I don't know who the blonde girl is over here. I don't know if those people over there are employees or not. These two people. I know this girl right here. I know she walked out. She might have been from like the Ball State newspaper, maybe. Or something like that, because she like walked out right in front of me. But then, I know that, one, two, 3, 4. So four county employees from about 12:45 until the meeting ends. It lasted right at about 30 minutes. So 30 minutes, plus it's 1:15. James King was in some kind of quasi-uniform. He's the chief of police in Daleville. I figured he would have been policing in Daleville. No one from the Daleville Police Department was testifying. No one from the commissioner's office was testifying. So Commissioner Police Chief James King from Daleville, Delaware County Commissioner's Office, I don't really know why he needed to be there. And, Mike King, so 5. Mike Jones. Mike King works too. Mike Jones. So five people. So he was making a commemorative stamp right of my face, and he could lick it every day and stamp it. Ryan, that's good. We need to get him a commemorative stamp of Bilbrey. What's he called? Blotto, the stamp. All right, so enough of that. I do have another big story. So if you want to hear some crazy ass election board stories, stick around. But first, we need to talk about this split. All right, it kind of blends in and goes together. Folks, since 2019, I have been talking about this theory. And it's obviously it's a joke, but it talks about this problem that I have noticed in the Republican Party. And the joke is, I've said that when the FBI came in to investigate the Democrats and the Tyler administration and all of that, I've said that they, because of that investigation, were getting rid of a bunch of stuff. Shredding things, burying stuff, and throwing stuff out. And I've said that they threw out their official, corrupt, crazy handbook. They chucked it out the window. And right in front of, like, Victor Whitehead's feet. And Victor said, "Look at this. We ought to pick this up and see what's in it." And he thumbed through it, and he's like, "Oh, no way. This would like literally be like being the what is that? The Miami Razorback football team, or National Hockey League, whatever, sports balls that I don't know. It'd be like those teams getting the playbook of their other team. Okay. I was going to try to mix up the Chicago Bears and the Chicago Bulls, but I realized if I would have said Chicago Bears and Chicago Bulls, it would have been the same thing. Those, like, I only know like 3 sports teams, and I didn't want to say Colts because that's very overplayed. And obviously the Chiefs suck, and the 49ers and all that shit because of the Super Bowl. So I wasn't going to say, oops, Super Bowl. I can't say that again. We're going to get kicked off Facebook. Anyways, I whatever. So you get what I'm saying. It's like the other team had the playbook of the other team, and they've been thumbing through it. Here's the thing. That's good a lot of times, so you can know like what to do or what not to do. However, the Republicans must have forgot that it's led the Democrats into a world of chaos. So all of a sudden, the Republicans said, okay, well, it's worked for the Democrats for so long. Let's start here. And they've started working down the playbook almost play for play. And it's done pretty well for them. It's done pretty well for them. However, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of like that book. There's a monster at the end of this book, and you're flipping through it, and it's like, it's Grover, and he's like, I tell you, don't go to the end of the book. And then you flip over, and it's like one more page, and he's like, don't know, you're turning. And I told you not to turn. And then you get to the end of the book, and you're the monster at the end of the book. Like, that's kind of what's going. It's like, you know, what's happening here? Because at the end of the book, it's the Democrat. Jack. Kate, he started it again. Hey, Mom, do we have Grandma's old Floby? You need to look and see if we've got the old Floby, because if we do, I might have you cut my hair that way. Hey, thank you for the great Grover. I try. But the Republicans have seemed to not remembered my mom is going to become a notary, just screw up a lot of political crap in Delaware County. She has like been talking about this all. I think she's applying right now. Dear Indiana state government, I want to be a notary. Check yes or no. Aunt Jean wanted to buy it from me. Okay, I'll have to go over to Jean's house and film me getting flobied. Better yet, Mike Jones can come over here and he can floby himself. Anyways. So, anyhow, these people are playing through these handbooks. And I've been saying since 2019, you guys aren't going to like how this book ends. Like, you're going to get to the end of this book, and it's going to be a problem. Okay? You're going to get to this end of this book and realize that this was not the plays you should have been going by. And I've been hearing rumblings of little chaos here, and these people are mad at these people, and this people are mad at this people. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is an absolute break now. And Ryan Webb has just said it. The interesting thing about the divide is how many hardcore party people have crossed over to Ryan's side of the thing. Now, I look for anybody out there that maybe hell you don't even like Ryan. We'll just say for those people that have seen in the party, hey, there's a problem going on here, and I don't think I like what's happening. And they are leaving the Ed Carroll and Jessica Piper part of the party. Okay? Now, I've put this up, and a couple people have said, wait a minute. Are you saying there's a split between Ed and Jessica? No, that's not what I'm saying. And I see that, Nicole. I see you. I will not confirm nor deny what Mike Jones likes to do. Ooh. Stop it. Okay, so this is not to say that there is a split between Ed and Jessica. There's not. Ed and Jessica are on the same team. What this is to say is this is like one of your political mailers that you get. And on the front side, it's got the Delaware County Republican Party, your leadership. And it's got, Trusty Ed and Just Jessica, and it shows you how wonderful these people are. Okay. And then on the backside, it gives you some I don't know, facts about the Republican Party. Maybe it's got a team picture. The team picture looks somewhat similar to this. Okay. This is the family, the Delaware County family. Well, folks, they're getting a divorce. All right. The family is in trouble. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of it has to do with Jessica Piper, the Piper problem. Hell, I started talking to you all about this back almost a year and a half ago. Listen to me. The leadership of Ed and Jessica is single-handedly destroying the Republican Party. Look, folks, Ed doesn't just do a piss-poor job of being auditor of the county. He's doing a horrible job. They haven't taken taxes out on employees. That's causing a whole lot of chaos. Credit card statements were coming in and they weren't being paid. You have department heads standing in line buying, incidental material, things that they need. And they're like, sorry, sir, your card's declined. How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is that? Check. How sad would it be? Hello, I'm from the Delaware County government, and I want to buy this, and this. We're sorry, sir. Your I see it. I see it, Kate. Hold on. We'll display that here in a second. That's great. How embarrassing is it that their card is declined? How horrible yet you go in and you put all your shit in at the taxes, right? You put everything in and they're like, "Oh, we're sorry. Your government didn't take taxes out on you for your employer didn't take taxes out on you for the last year." Dude, how mad would you be?
Are they taking out the Medicare and Social Security, or they're not taking anything?
Listen to me. Here's what I'm hearing, Kate. I have two really good trusty sources that have reached out to me and said, I'm going to read you word for word what this source said and let you guys hear this. And I can tell you, this is a person who is beyond impeccable trustworthiness, is not able to be impeached as a character witness. And this person says, have you heard about several county employees and no federal taxes having been taken out on them for the entire year of 2023?
Oh my God.
Question mark. Then the person goes on and says, I know EMS have had this issue initially, and now the Delaware County Sheriff's Department is dealing with this.
If they 1099 these guys, they have to pay self-employment taxes in some cases.
We've got guys that have had 2024 no federal taxes taken out even after finding this that haven't done it from January up until this was sent on 21st of February. And the person goes on and said, Ed's office is an effing train wreck. All right? An effing train wreck.
An entire year of no taxes. Oh my God. They're going to have, if they don't have like 18 kids.
Yeah,
this tax season is gonna hurt.
Absolutely. So I am in the process of getting, listen to me, and I'm going to tell you why this is. What? Yeah. One of those employees told Delaware County Councilman Ryan Webb that she owes $5,000 in taxes instead of getting back a tax refund. Now, I want to know, is Ed Carroll going to personally pay that $5,000?
I'm 1099, Nicole, so yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how many people though pay attention anymore?
Brenda,
you don't get a check anymore, Brenda. You get a direct deposit.
That's the thing. You get the deposit, and people look. You imagine you've worked in the Delaware County government for 10 years and 15 years, and everything's always been fine. And you think that the people in there are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Everything's going to be fine. You don't expect that Mr. Ed Carroll is going to be playing party chairman. And let me tell you, some of the shit he was saying today was just completely obtuse. These people are talking about how, like, this is just a complete waste of the taxpayers' time and money. What was a complete waste of the taxpayers' time and money? What are we talking about? All of these people were on the clock and should have been there, so it shouldn't have cost anybody any amount of money. The election board has to meet. Generally, it's the government's people doing the challenging. So something that I heard someone very close to me say here recently was, it feels as though essentially the challenge process is not designed for us peons. It is designed as a tool for the party people. Party people. It is designed for the party officials to kick off those that they do not like or support, kick off those who they do not want to run or win, and for them to hurt us as citizens. And it's designed for us to just take it. Charlie says most places provide electronic access to pay stubs to review throughout the year. And look, I'm sure they do, but again, you're falling back to these people are listen, I'm not going to say that there's not some personal responsibility here. I'm not solely blaming Ed and saying, like,
no,
whatever.
You can blame Ed. When they found out about it, they went in and said something, and it's still going on.
Yeah. Right.
You can blame
That's the thing. Yes. Oh, Ed is getting blamed, because let me tell you, this wasn't happening. This wasn't happening under other auditors. This is just now happening under Ed. Now, let me see what I'm being sent this to me right now. Give me 1 second.
In the meantime, do you want me to share your pretty picture?
Yes, show what you found. Now, what I want to know is this, pull that back up. Is this a stamp or is it blotter paperwork? Are you taking a trip around the world and to different galaxies here with Kristopher Bilbrey? Or is this a stamp for Mike Jones? God, keep that up. That's you don't lick the backside of it, Jack. You put it on your tongue and wait for it to dissolve. That's what you do there, brother. And I love it. Remember, they didn't notice the higher paychecks because they had just... Oh, keep in mind, that's a very important notice. Remember, they didn't notice the higher paychecks because they had just been given a 7% raises and believed that the increased wages was a result of the pay increase, not the failure to take out taxes. That's a good reminder for those people out there that don't remember that. And so that is absolutely crazy. And so, yeah, I just received a message from someone in a very similar position. And they said, hell, even the city last year's tax return was not given back until October due to the city not filing any tax papers on several employees. So it's like, what is going on with these governments who have worked for so long, and, like, what is happening? Like, why is this going on? And look, folks, this is just one issue. Remember, Ed isn't paying bills. Credit card payments are not being paid, and so credit cards are being declined. Ed is doing party business between the hours of 8 and 4 in the auditor's office. Look, throw everything else out the window. The fact that Ed is going in as an elected official, he's walking into the Delaware County building, past the Delaware County security, up to the Delaware County elevator, and he's pressing Delaware County number 2 for the floor, and the Delaware County elevator doors open, or 3. I think he's on the 3rd floor. He's on the 1st floor. Never mind. I don't know. He's on some floor. I don't know what floor he's on. But he walks into his Delaware County auditor's office, and he walks past his employees that are Delaware County employees, and he walks into his Delaware County private office, public office, but his private office that blocks him off from people. And he then conducts Republican Party business. He meets with people. Not a good look. And let me tell you, I'm going to speak directly to Ed Carroll here. Let me take these off so you can see. The deal with you, Ed, and Chad Malacote, and the tax properties and all that stuff, I'm going to look for that stuff, and I'm going to pull it all out, and we're making it all public, okay? And just so nobody gets any kind of weird, funny, hinky ideas, there are all kinds of other people that also have all of this information to be able to release and push forward as well. So just FYI, and I just want to be very, very clear that there are serious concerns here. And look, not to mention almost 200 tax sale deeds remain unprocessed in the auditor's office and will remain that way indefinitely as they attempt to get their party and their buddies on, like Chad Malacote, and do all of that other stuff. and they're worried about, getting their friends paid and getting their friends paid more than other people. Thank God for Ryan and who was the other one? Was it Bill? I don't know. It was Ryan and another person in there. I keep in mind. Maybe Ryan can fill us in. Chris thinks better when things are fuzzy. There may or may not be some truth to that. So that's very important, and I want to make sure that people are aware of that. And the split that is occurring in the Republican Party. Look, just along the lines of what's going on with what was this? No. Jenna Acton, Sproles Watch is coming up, the very next thing I'm going to talk about. So please share it. Please share that to anyone you know. We're getting ready to come up on Sproles Watch. Sometimes it takes a minute for the score to be uncovered. Nobody's in the clear yet. Oh, yes, that's exactly correct. That is absolutely truth. And let me tell you, it's very important for people to know. Lick this. Charlize, that's very true. Trust but verify. And I promise you people, that I will bring the information to light, anything that I most possibly can bring all out. I'm going to lay it in front of you. I'm going to tell you why I believe what I believe, why we have what we have. Then it's up to your choice. It's up to you to do the work and find it, agree, disagree, and let us know what you think. But I'm telling you guys, with everything that's going on, you have the ability to simply send some of these people going. Look, you have to stick up. You got to put up with Ed for another 2 more years. Ed is not up for re-election this year. But man, I'm telling you, if you send Jessica Piper packing, I wish her name was Pauline Piper packing. Patty Piper packing. If you send, I'm going to start calling her Miss Patty Piper. If you send Patty Piper packing, you would do a major thing for Delaware County government.
You actually need to go with Pippi
Piper.
The hair makes me think of Pippi Longstocking.
Yes.
Pippi Piper packing.
If you send Pippi Piper packing, you will disrupt a lot of what goes on. If you send James King kicking the can, I'm just trying to figure out. If you can get rid of King and put Brand in, you will do a thing. If you can vote for Troy over Sherry, you will do something. Let me tell you, folks. You have a chance. You can go and you can vote for Brad Bookout, a Democrat in Republican clothing. You can go vote for Brad Bookout in his fancy little suits with his fancy little shoes. You can go do that if you so choose. Does that rhyme? Is this turning into like a nursery rhyme? His fancy little suits and his fancy little shoes, you can elect him to government if you choose. But I think that you probably would be better off canning Eugene Whitehead, canning Piper, canning James King. This episode is like if politics were a Dr. Seuss book. I'm not saying that, Stumblefoot. You can write it and people can read it, but I'm not saying it. There's a problem. Madison County, hook up Catherine Callahan. That's a big deal. I want to show you guys something here that is a big it's a big deal. And I want you guys to be able to hear this here. Tick, 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 ding. You know, I want to show you something. This is crazy. Do you know how many comments that this guy gets this way? And nobody gives a shit. No one seems to care. Mike Jones. Let's see. When did he do this? He made this comment at 8 o'clock in the morning. Do you add any of your GoFundMe page money to your campaign finances? If you do, the amount of income should be attached to your finance statement. Someone will surely be auditing your report. I sure hope you're not on the clock, Mike Jones. You know, it's just constant. It's constant with this guy. Constantly with this guy. Every single thing. Let's see here. This is, listen to this. Julie Castor, Heather Rudick, Lori Tucker, Linda Wright, Donna Patterson, Beth Neff, Becky Flowers died. Denise Smith all left the auditor's office, all having over 5 years and many of them decades of experience because of issues, and many of them decided to call it retirement instead of continuing to work there. This all took place in the last half of 2023 and early 2024. This is, listen to me, this, ladies and gentlemen, is Ed Carroll's office that we're talking about, okay? Beth Neff said, Julie Castor, Heather Ruddick, Lori Tucker, Linda Wright, Donna Patterson, Beth Neff, Denise Smith, all left the auditor's office. Now, unfortunately, Becky Flowers died, so that's not the same thing. All right, the office, all having at least 5 years and many of them decades of experiences because of issues. Many of them decided to call it retirement instead of continuing to work there. This all took place in the last half of 2023 and early 2024. His first year, he lost half of his experienced staff. None of them would have left if things would have been better working environment. Lori Jesse left after having only worked there for a few months. Not sure what that was all about, but she only worked there a few months. Thanks for bringing this to the public eye. I didn't think anyone was paying attention. Oh, Beth Neff, I'm telling you, I just added you as a friend. Ma'am, people are paying attention. I promise you, people. Oops, hold on here. I think I just screwed something up. People are paying attention. Okay? Let's be really clear. There are people watching what's going on. This is something that is I agree with you. This is wild. It's something that, you know, honestly, it hasn't happened. In my memory, in the Delaware County government, most people will tend to move around or will do whatever. And a lot of these people just said, hey, I'm getting out of there. You know, I've been talking since 2020 about how the morale of the city government has been bad and been down, but just boom, quickly in the last about 3 to 4 months, we have been hearing stories more and more and more about how the morale of the Delaware County government has been going, and it's been bad. It's not been good. Things have not been good there. Specifically, when we are talking about the Delaware County Auditor's Office, okay? The Delaware County Auditor's Office, it's in a world of hurt right now, and people need to understand that these people who are in these places of power, they can't do it by themselves. They need more than just themselves to be able to do this. They need a network of other people in places. You can send a massive message to these people this election by unelecting Jessica Piper, by unelecting Eugene Whitehead, by unelecting Sherry, I don't know why I keep calling her Sharon, Sherry Riggin, by unelecting James King. You can send a massive message to these people. It's time for them to wake up. It's very important that we as county government, county citizens, send the message to county government. Let's see what we've got going on here. I want to make sure a couple people have been sending me messages, and I just want to make sure that I'm getting those because a couple people had sent me information pertaining to the show. All right. So that's that. Okay. It is the yeah. By unrecalling them, Bilbrey. Unfortunately, I wish we had a way to recall here. That's something else we need to deal with and that's something we need to deal with on a state level. We need to get power over these people. The state of Indiana is they call it a very mayor-friendly state. It's a very elected official friendly state is what it means there. We need to fix that. So I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the issues within the auditor's office are growing day by day by day. I'm going to continue watching this. We're going to continue bringing it out. There are people bringing this out. Ryan Webb is bringing this out. I am bringing this out. I know that David Williams has been bringing some things out. There are people who are starting to speak out and starting to bring this stuff to the public's knowledge and to the forefront, and that's what we need to do. Okay, all right. Now, without further ado, Alabama of the North. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to move on to the the Henry County commissioners meeting. All right, so we're going to do this commissioners meeting briefly, and then we're going to kick into Sproles Watch, but this all has kind of ties in together. Okay, so today was the today was the Henry County commissioners meeting at 6 p.m. And it was the meeting in which the commissioners were supposed to talk to Josh Estel, the insurance man, because keep in mind, today is the 28th, tomorrow is the 29th, and the March is here in 2 days. All right. It's here. Okay. So the Henry County Commissioners meeting is a long meeting. We're not going to watch the entire meeting. We're going to watch what's relevant to Sproles and to the insurance. All right. You can go on YouTube and you can find the Henry County Commissioners meeting. For those of you that are those of you that are on social media, on Facebook, I will also share the link to the Henry County Commissioners meeting on my social media page, but you can find the Henry County Commissioners meeting simply by going to YouTube and looking up Henry space county IN and no space between county and IN. I don't understand why they do it that way, but it is what it is.
Please
Okay.
remember that their sound is very low, Christopher. So people,
Yeah.
when you're playing this, are going to be turning this up. So when you
I'm
come
gonna
back
mu-
in,
I'm gonna-
give people
yeah.
a few seconds to turn their volumes back down. Okay.
Well, number one, I'm going to mute myself. Number two, this audio, while Josh Estel is talking and the commissioners are talking, is actually not low. So it's. I was amazed. I was like, wow, they fixed their audio. So I'm going to turn this all the way up, and we're going to get started here. I'm going to let you guys. We're going to get through this.
And now we need a treasure.
Keeping some of the existing 600 for the most part, moving me up a couple.
Sure, in second.
Second.
All right, we're done.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to bring the commissioners meeting back to
Motion's
order.
been made to bring the commissioners meeting back on board.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Mr. Josh Estel.
Good evening. Thank you for moving me up a couple spots on the agenda. As everybody knows, several lines of our insurance were canceled by Travelers for March 1st. And after an extensive search of every market, I'm happy to say that we have terms for the most part that hopefully we can live with. We are spending today $643,845. The terms we have starting 3/1, which are a combination of keeping some of the existing lines with Travelers until July that they didn't cancel, and moving the remaining lines to other carriers. And this may not sound like it's terms that we can live with to the general population, but it sounded much worse 60 days ago. In total, going to $874,391. And the only major change in terms in terms of coverage and deductibles, that sort of thing, is that the law enforcement deductible is going to $150,000 per occurrence from $25,000 per occurrence. We may or may not have to deal with what we do with the property crime and the equipment in July. We'll probably know that in the next 60 days, but we sent this out to the entire property market. Unfortunately, even the accounts that have performed really well right now in the property market, the property concentration issue that we're seeing across our country, we're seeing huge deductibles being driven on especially wind, hail. So we were going to have to we have a $5,000 deductible right now across the board on all perils, and we were going to be looking at probably $50,000 to $100,000 wind, hail. So I see no reason to not ride as upset as I think everyone in here is with Travelers. I don't know that the county would like to take on that financial exposure in the spring for wind.
No. Adjust your sound. Nobody is mad at Travelers. Now, I understand he's got to play politician kind of and say that, even though he's not a politician. It's not Travelers that people are mad at or should be mad at. It's the Henry County Sheriff and his ignorant actions. Okay? Let's see what Yoko's saying here. Look at that. Per occurrence. Per occurrence. It's not Travelers' fault. The county's going to go bankrupt, even with insurance. $150,000 per incident. The sheriff's department. I mean, look. That's nuts. Look what Kate figured out here. $230,546 increase in premiums. All right. Now we're not done. We're gonna go back here. So get ready to adjust your volumes. It's not terrible because the volume on Josh is pretty good. Let's go back to the meeting.
Entail. I'm thinking that we ride this out until July and see what happens on those property lines.
Because I believe our current deductible is 5,000.
5 on all property.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah. And so, we kind of had to piecemeal this together, which is very unique. But I made some footnotes at the bottom of the document just so that there's no confusing, and you can reference this. But on the law, we have the first $2 million with Kinsale and the second $3 million with Indian Harbor to get to the $5 million tort cap, which is the limit we had now. Chubb came in with a very attractive public officials and employment practices proposal. They're willing to do the full $5 million tower on that limit to get us to 5. And then Trident came in and was willing to write the general liability auto and the $4 million excess over the general liability and auto. So we've got the $5 million on every limit that we had previously. We've had to do it with quite a bit of layering and piecemealing. I made a note at the bottom that the all lines aggregate that I spoke about at the last meeting, which was really the only other even option that was realistic. I feel like we're paying a premium of what amounts to be, still in the $550,000 range, and then taking on huge deductible exposures by line. So I think, for the most part, we're landing with carriers that have experience. I don't love the deductible. I did some analysis, depending on how much you want to share, but if we went back 10 years, we would spend about $1,590,000 in deductible if we had the 150 the last 10 years. Now, we have 25 now. We would have spent a big chunk of that in the under 25. But, for budgeting purposes, if you want to just look at historicals, clearly we've had a lot of changes. We got a new jail. There's been things that have happened in 10 years that, but that's the only thing we have to go on is the data that we have historically. So I'm happy to share more of that analysis, but we need to bind coverage tomorrow. And I think that this proposal is what we should do for now and puts the county in the best position, as we move forward. And hopefully a year from now, if things quiet down, then, we will revisit this regardless. But hopefully if things quiet down, then we go to some of these carriers who said, I have interest, but just it's been kind of a flourish of things happen, and I'd like to give it some time to see before we do anything. So happy to answer any questions that you have.
Well, first of all, thank you. I have worked closely with you since we got the phone call December the 20th, and Josh has gone probably above and beyond what most brokers would have done. I'm not so certain that most brokers would have at some point when it just walked away. It has been a difficult challenge to get to where we are today. He has put in way more hours than I have, but I have put in many hours working on applications, and so has other departments because I have to lean on everybody else to get the numbers. So it's been a group effort. So thank you for the hard work.
Well, thank you guys, because every one of these carriers has their own 20-page application. And in normal years, we would kind of fill out one and shove it down their throat and say, if you want to look at our business, like, you need to just use this. Strategically didn't think it was probably the right time to do that. So we tried to bend over backwards and give all the carriers kind of the best picture of what Henry County's exposures were. And unfortunately, what that means was every time we got questions in a 20-page supplemental, that somebody over here had to do that and put a bunch of time in. So I will say I think that helped us arrive at where we were. Trident, as an example, probably 2 weeks ago, I had an auto quote for $1 million and no general liability and no excess auto. And, we filled out the Trident supplement. We went back to them. We asked them to do some things and ended up getting, them to come through on that $5 million, which was kind of the last piece to get this to where I think we're up to the tort cap. We have, a decent program. So it took a lot of legwork. I mean, we spent hours and hours and hours at the jail with some of these carriers doing tours. So everybody involved in that, everybody pitched in to make sure we didn't not have insurance, come Friday.
So when you went back to 10 years, I just want to make sure I understand. So you took all the claims that we had over 10 years and
Law enforcement
and assumed that the deductible was 150
Correct.
to get to that number?
Correct.
Okay.
And I've got a very complicated spreadsheet that I can share with you if you
Okay.
want to see how it breaks down. Now, I will say too, because I don't want to mislead anyone, but there's a ton of open claims. So the numbers I used are reserves. So, you could have a claim right now that's paid $25,000 and Traveler says we think it's going to pay $200,000 and it may pay $500,000. It might pay $50,000, but we can only use the numbers that are what we show as incurred. So, with that caveat that those are the pure numbers in terms of if the claim settled today for what the reserve looks like, what we would be looking at in terms of potential exposure on deductible.
Thank you.
Well, say, because I got the copy of the Hail Mary that you threw up. And just so for public record, it was denied. Basically what Traveler said was they had responded to their indemnity company, hereafter known as Travelers, and received above referenced complaint. Travelers has insured the Henry County Commissioners continuously since 2021 and 2023. We received 10 claims related to actions allegedly taken by the Henry County Sheriff's Department compared to 4 claims we received in 2022 related to the Sheriff's Department. So,
All right, folks, did you hear that? Did you hear that right there? That's very, very, very big. I want to go back and let you guys hear that again. All right, let's go back and listen to what he says there.
Potential exposure.
Do you remember 2 weeks ago when we were sitting there talking about this? Remember that? Charlize, that's a great question. Jenna, you're exactly right. Beautiful answer. Great question. That's what we're trying to do. And that's why I'm saying, please, if you live in Henry County and you're watching this, share this episode to someone in Henry County that you know. Tell them to get on. This is episode 151. Episode 151. I know the thumbnail has nothing to do with Henry County. Tell them it's episode 151. It's called The Split is Real. The name of the show is The Political Spotlight. We're on YouTube. I've shared this with a bunch of pages in Henry County. If you know someone in Henry County, share this. If you live, work, or play in Henry County, share this. If you have family or friends in Henry County, share this. Put this on your social media. Put it on your Twitter. Put it on your Facebook. Share this link. Get this word out there, folks, because this is one elected official who is changing the Henry County government like this. I came to you guys in October of 2022 and I said, do not, whatever you do. I know you guys are Republican. I know that Sproles is coming across like he's the good Johnny law dog, Johnny on the spot, conservative Republican, but he's going to be a nightmare. And the main reason isn't the political aspect. The main reason is he does not know law enforcement. He had been in law enforcement just right around 4 years. He's still considered a rookie at that point. He's not even really a veteran of law enforcement at that point. He shouldn't be a corporal on the road, which is the first level up from deputy. You should have no leadership ability at 4 years. And he went from being the lowest man on the totem pole to being king of the castle. And I said, he's number one, he's going to affect the law enforcement in Henry County, and he has affected them. He's caused issues with all of the other law enforcement in Henry County and elsewhere throughout Indiana. Next, I said he would cause issues with the elected officials, and he has done that. All the elected officials in Henry County are at odds with the sheriff, and the sheriff is at odds with the elected officials. And worse yet, he would then affect the citizens. And citizens, he is affecting you. We cannot have him reelected down there. We need him to resign. We need him to be looked at by the federal government, arrested, taken out of office. He needs to go, folks. So I'm going to go back and let you listen to this one more time, how he's affecting you.
Own deductible.
Thank you.
2 weeks ago, Josh Estel said that he was going to try a Hail Mary pass. He was going to write this, I don't know really what to call it. It's kind of like the people that look over all of this. And he was going to say, Travelers is getting ready to drop us. And I think Josh understands where it's coming from, but he wrote to them and said, we question if this is right. Can you please look over this? They got the ruling back and listen to what the ruling said.
It's like, 'cause I got the copy of the Hail Mary that you threw up. Just so for public record, that it was denied.
It was denied. For what reason?
Basically, what Travelers said was they had responded to their indemnity company, hereafter known as Travelers, and received the above referenced complaint. Travelers has insured the Henry County Commissioners continuously since 2021 and 2023. We received 10 claims.
Travelers has insured Henry County since 2021. In 2023, they received 10 claims. 10 claims.
Related to actions allegedly taken by the Henry County Sheriff's Department compared to
Related to actions taken by the Henry County Sheriff's Department, most of those being actions taken by the sheriff himself.
4 claims we received in 2022.
Whereas in 2022, they had received 4 claims. 4 claims to 10 claims in a year. What changed? The leadership of the Sheriff's Department.
Related to the Sheriff's Department. Some of these claims are still open and are currently in litigation. Given our experience in underwriting this type of business, the pattern and nature of these claims received is indicative of substantial change in risk management. As such, we decided to midterm cancel the above policies. And then it goes on.
A substantial change in the risk management of the Sheriff's Department.
It says there was 2 notices of cancellation, so they gave us over their 45 days. As of March 1st, it would have been an additional 30 days. And the response from the state of Indiana was, Dear Board of Commissioners, Henry County, you have inquired concerning midterm cancellation of the commercial insurance policy according to IC Code 27-1-31-2. Grounds for cancellation notices of cancellation is insurer may cancel policy of insurance that has been in effect for more than 90 days if there is substantial change in the scale of risk covered by the policy. And they gave it 45 days notice before canceling policy. We can only suggest that you contact other companies through your agent to secure coverage. If you have any serious problems obtaining coverage, the Indiana Fair Plan is available and you may ask your agent about it. Please understand that our inability to be of direct assistance to you in this matter stems from statutory limitations and not from a lack of concern on our part. So that pretty much ended that, didn't it?
I would rather let this process play out. I think that the Department of Insurance might look at this further. I don't think it's going to impact what we do for March 1st. I was disappointed that in what I would consider an action that is somewhat unprecedented, that nobody at Henry County or their legal representation got a phone call as it relates to any of this. But I'm going to be careful, like, as we get in. Obviously, I've still got a contractual relationship with Travelers. You're going to be insured with them for the next 3.5 months. I think we should let the process play out at the state level. Whether I disagree or agree with the way it was handled, there could be something that comes of this as they look into it further from an appeal standpoint. But yeah, I mean, they said in the letter, you can read it, that they canceled because of claims. I mean, so you can judge for yourself. You can read the law and decide if you think that is what the law says or not.
Jody, I'm sorry.
Is there a motion?
Yeah, I was going to make a motion to approve binding with Kinsdale, Indian Harbor, Chubb, Trident, and any other carriers that I've missed here for the insurance for Henry County starting March the 1st.
Two real quick things. I got Debbie the terrorism, which you've always accepted, and the uninsured motorist form that's required by law. I checked the box of what coverage you've had, which is the same limits that you carry on the auto policy. You can review that. I don't need it today, but I would suggest that we just keep the terrorism and uninsured motorists what we've had and match what match the limits. And that would be the only other things that need to be executed. There could be some cleanup items that we just need to do in the next couple of days, but I think we've pretty much got everything at this point. So,
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
I will second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Thank you for your effort and for everyone
you for
else.
everything,
thank
Josh.
you guys. We'll get
Thank
this
you.
Thank you,
handled
Josh.
tomorrow, and I'll keep
Yeah.
you posted.
Yep. I'll
All
talk
right.
to you tomorrow.
This, ladies and gentlemen, this was a wild situation. And I respect, I do not, I want to put this out there. I do not know Josh Estel. I do not know him from Adam. Wouldn't know him. I've only seen the back of his head here. I couldn't even tell you what he looks like, his face. I have no idea who this man is. I feel like he is very respectful. I feel like he is of the utmost professional person in this matter. I feel like he is working between very sticky situation and a pit of vipers, and the pit of vipers are all John Sproles. Yes. What are you doing? Oh, thank you. Can you break down the video where it's just this part so we in Henry County can share it? Yes. Yes, Lisa Lewis. So basically what I will do is if you give me just a few minutes after we are off the air, what I will do is I will make it down into just this segment, and this will all be cut out of there, so you won't even see this part in the short video. But I will do that. I will share it everywhere, and I will send you a link specifically. I will cut down the John Sproles video just in and of itself for you and for all of those people in Henry County. So what's important about this is John Sproles. This is how he acts. This is what he does. All right. And this is just his interaction with citizens creating this mess. It's his interaction working with the elected officials, and his inability to ever admit he's in the wrong. And it's chaos. let me explain to you what he did yesterday, 2 days ago, in the election board meeting. The man goes in to the election board meeting. All right. Now the claim is, and the claim is made by my mouth. I'm making the claim that there are at least 3 candidates. No, there are 4. Sorry, at least 4, maybe 5 candidates currently running for election in Henry County that are part of Team Sprouls. They are what I would call Sproles plants. Okay? And I'm going to name those people. Maybe there's even 6. I'm going to name those people. Those people are Chad Malacote, running for Henry County County Council. The man, Kuntz, whatever the Kuntz guy's name is, Kuntz, all right? He's running for county council. Sproles Patrol! Oh! Sproles Patrol, that's... Thank you for coming up with an amazing name that we will absolutely use. Beautiful. Sproles Patrol. And these are the people, the political folks that he's putting forward.
You know, I think I have stuffed animals of all of the Paw Patrol people. We could really have some fun with this.
Yes. I love it. That is amazing. Oh, God. What is the... Okay, Scott Kuntz. Okay, so I'm going to take you through who I believe are the Sproles Patrol candidates. Okay, and it's very important, folks. You do as you see fit. You know, do what you think that you need to do, but I'm letting you know, if these people are in government, chances are they're going to help Sproles, and anyone helping Sproles is not good because it's going to be harmful to the county. Scott Kuntz is a member of the Sproles Patrol. Okay, here we go. That's one of the members. He's running for county council. Do not elect him. All right. I'll show you another person here. Okay. Try to do it where it's just the person and not family. Give me a second. Okay, right here. This is good. Okay. Oh, was I just going through that? Yeah, I was. It was on screen. You guys could see the whole thing. Well, damn it. Okay, here's Chad Malacote. Sproles Patrol. Sproles Patrol right here. He's running for county council. All right. He is a Sproles Patrol member. All right. Stand by 1 second. I will give you the next next little bit here. I can't. Oops. Yeah, hold on. There's a picture right here. Ugh. I've not seen Susan in that long. Okay. Susan Hoon is a Sproles Patrol member. She's running for commissioner against Bobby Plummer. So we've done Scott, we've done Chad, we've done Susan. Okay. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, is William Palmer. I'd be surprised if he's got a Facebook, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything there. Looks like William Palmer does not have one that I can find. So looks like we're good there. But he is a member of the Sproles Patrol. William Palmer is running for coroner. And the next one is James David Cantrell, who's also running for commissioner. So it's hard keeping them straight. There might be a couple of others on council, like a guy named Justin, I think. So what I'm telling you, if you want to elect the people in Henry County that would best benefit Henry County, you need to reelect Bobby Plummer. You need to reelect Dellinger on the commissioners. You need to reelect Brian Clark. You need to reelect, on the council. I don't know. I almost don't know on the council at this point. I think the council, you're going to be in a bad spot where you might have to at least elect the gentleman that's running for reelection that took Morgan's spot. His name is, I think he's an attorney. Last name's Allen, I believe. He might be the only guy that I would reelect on the county council. You might be in trouble county council wide, but the commissioners are going to be the big thing. You need to reelect Bobby Plummer. You need to reelect Steve Dellinger, and you need to reelect Brian Clark in the coroner's office. All right. Those are very, very, very important positions that need to be reelected with the people who are there. I don't normally call for the reelection of incumbents. Generally, they've pissed me off. Bobby Plummer has done a great job. Dellinger has done a great job, and Brian Clark is doing a great job. Okay. So just got to keep that in mind. Now, next up, I want to show you, and this is the major issue with Sproles that I've had. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you here. This is very important that we look at this and that we have an understanding of what's going on. First of all, I want to show you this here. Okay. The woman in yellow, that's Bobby Plummer. She is the person who is up for re-election. She has my full support, my full endorsement. You need to re-elect her. The man down here in the vest, that's Steve Dellinger, and he tells Sproles just like it is. He does not mess around. The man in the middle is Sproles' friend. He's a retired trooper, Joe Wiley, and he helps Sproles. But with these two to 3 is a quorum, 2 to 3 is a vote. So they can stop Sproles. We need them back in the commissioner's office. All right. I want to roll through here real quick and just show you guys that Sproles was there. I've got the message that Sproles was at the meeting, but Sproles did not talk for one reason or another.
To see what the difference is of what we appropriated for this.
I don't know why Sproles didn't talk.
It's a bit.
I feel.
Motion passes 3-0.
Oh, let's hear what we got going on here with the police.
So the council would have to do, this is more of a council thing than a commission.
And Brian True. Thank you. Mandy Fleming.
She's not here.
Okay. Bill Upchurch has had his time. Scott Hines.
Down.
Come on down. Sheriff's Department, Sheriff John Sproles. I think we have the captain on the vehicles down the line.
Oh, come on down.
Come on down. Come on. Hustle.
I was gonna say, you didn't leave anybody in harm's way when you left, did you?
No. They're in good hands. What I was supposed to do when I struck them today, I didn't realize commissioners was evening. I forget there's one morning, one evening thing. So I think you guys, I know I got sent it to Debbie's office. She said about trading potentially 4 vehicles to Fletcher towards the vehicles being purchased this year. And if you guys had any questions, any thoughts or anything.
And these 4 are not any of the 7 that are sitting over in our maintenance lot.
No, ma'am, these 4 are sitting on our lot.
Okay.
Out on the east side of the jail.
I don't have any questions.
Any questions, Steve?
The only one I have was the total amount, Joel, that this does not have to go out for bids because we're still under. Okay, I just wanted to make sure we weren't doing anything wrong.
So with that, I will make the motion to approve the trading in of the 4 vehicles. I'll just go ahead and read what we're getting. It's a 2024 Dodge Durango Pursuit for $43,690, a 2024 Dodge Durango Pursuit for $42,600. The trades are a 2018 Charger with a $3,000 value trade-in, a 2016 Charger with a $2,000 trade-in, a 2017 Explorer with a $2,500 trade-in, a 2019 Durango with an $8,500 trade-in for a total of trade-ins of $16,000, making the total due after the trade $70,290. So with that, I will make the motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you for getting
Thank
me
you,
up there. I
ma'am.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, so they're going to get some cars, we hear. Sproles didn't want to talk, apparently.
The need for additional made services. So in this area, we've got the kitchen that are how state hospital, but it's this plot of land that
We got a new jail like last year, and all of a sudden we need new jail space. I would say, well, keep this new jail space in mind. We got a new jail. Henry County got a new jail. It's a new jail, and they're already needing to revamp it
Just so
to
we can
put
kinda get
more
the-
space in place to be able to lock people up, okay? Keep that in mind.
And he needs to be advised that, he needs to stop farming that corridor.
And I would second that because I,
well as the first year's operating.
I'm all-
Okay, that's the end of the meeting. If you want to go back and you want to watch that meeting, it's important and you guys need to see that stuff. But I'm going to take you to an issue with the jail and take you to an issue with more Sproles watch issues. Okay, stand by just 1 second as I pull this up and get this ready for you so you can see this. I want you guys to remember something, okay? I want you guys to remember this when this happened as we get ready to go in here and talk about our next story. Dealing with Sproles. Watch this. Somehow we broke it. Watch this.
Get another one.
Kick it again, get another one. He didn't say stop kicking. He's now giving him commands to kick it. See that muzzle flash there? Do you see that muzzle flash? Man, you really see it in this clear video.
Woo! We'll go all day.
Woo! We'll go all
You do
day.
it again, we'll go all day.
We do it again, we'll go all day. Fire.
Hey,
Don't let them go.
get off the floor and settle down. You kick it again, you'll get more. That don't bother me. Get off. That don't bother me. Kick it again, you'll get another one. That don't bother me. Kick it again, you get another one. 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 Kick it again, you get another one.
Kick it. Remember this, folks? Remember when John Sproles had this moment of fun in the Henry County Jail when he was dressed in his normal clothing and this helmet for some ludicrous reason? You remember when this stuff was going on? Just absolutely insane that this man is the head of the Henry County, Indiana Sheriff's Department. It's horrible. It's scary. It's scary that this would be happening. Okay. Well, I want to take you guys to a situation, and we talked about this last week when this originally happened. I guess this was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago today, this happened, and I want to bring this to your attention. All right. You see this man of color right here? This man of color was a Henry County Sheriff's Jail corrections officer. He was a corrections officer at the Henry County Sheriff's Office. He is now here in a mugshot where he was arrested, and this mugshot, he's now an inmate of the Henry County Jail. Henry County jail officer fired, then charged after allegedly shooting an inmate with one pepper ball. All right. This was February 26th. He was arrested on Saturday, I believe. And wait till you hear how he was arrested. A former correctional officer at the Henry County Jail has been arrested and is facing formal criminal charges after an incident at the jail on February 13th. Chris Dougherty of Muncie was arrested Saturday, February 24th on a warrant for a Class A misdemeanor, a misdemeanor battery resulting in bodily injury, a bruise. The alleged victim was a person who was incarcerated in the Henry County Jail. The Henry County Sheriff John Sproles released a statement on February 21st that a corrections officer at the Henry County Sheriff's Office had been fired following an alleged pepper ball incident at the Henry County Jail. According to Sproles' statement, oh my God, did the newspaper actually write SPROLES'? Is that for real? Is this the Star Press? According to Sproles' statement, the incident took place at approximately 7:35 p.m. February 13th during a shakedown pertaining to a suspected contraband in a cell block. Court documents state investigators reviewed camera footage that reportedly showed jail staff led inmates into the jail recreation area during the cell block search. A corrections officer, later identified as Dougherty, is reportedly seen on camera wearing a helmet and carrying a pepper gun while watching the inmates. According to self-defense retailers, a pepper gun or pepper ball gun is a non-lethal weapon similar to a paintball gun that is shot at people for fun. It shoots capsules fired with a powdered chemical compound similar to those used in traditional pepper sprays. When the pepper ball hits a target, they burst open, creating a cloud of chemical irritant that impairs the attacker's sight and breathing. Investigators reviewing the February 13th security footage reported that Doherty and the inmate appeared to be talking back and forth. The inmate appeared to be looking back at the corrections officer while they were talking, the investigator reported. Then I could see the inmate put his hands up, and the corrections officer then shot the inmate in his back with the pepper ball gun. How many times? 1 times. 1 times. 1! Henry County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Division interviewed the alleged victim. According to the report, the victim told investigators that Doherty repeatedly told him to face the wall, and the victim repeatedly told Doherty he was already facing the wall. The alleged victim told investigators he put his hands in the air and yelled that he was facing the wall, at which point Doherty shot him with the pepper ball. The alleged victim told investigators that Doherty had given him no warning before shooting him with the pepper ball gun. According to the victim, other inmates in the recreation area started to cough after the pepper ball burst open. The victim claimed that Doherty told the other inmates, "You can thank him for that." According to court documents, the investigators interviewed multiple inmates who were in the recreation area during the incident. Several described being affected by the pepper chemicals. They each told investigators that Doherty did not give a warning before shooting the pepper ball at the alleged victim. The investigators also interviewed a sheriff's office staff member who reportedly witnessed the incident from outside the recreation area. The witness reported seeing the victim put his hands up. While seated, he heard him tell Doherty that he was facing the wall. According to the witness, the alleged victim was not being combative and was not trying to get up before Doherty allegedly shot him with the pepper ball and did not stand up after being shot. The witness reportedly told investigators they did not believe Doherty's actions were appropriate. I would like to know, does this witness believe that the sheriff's actions were appropriate? I would like to know if he would tell us what he really feels. According to Sprouls' statement, Doherty was terminated on February 14th. Just 1 day. 1 day. Not even like a full 24-hour period, maybe. Just like he went home from work, and then the next day he was fired after the investigation was initiated by the Henry County Sheriff's Office Investigations Unit. The investigating detectives report stated, "I was advised that as of February 14th, 2024, Curtis Doherty had been told that his services with the Henry County Sheriff's Office were no longer required. Curtis Doherty was asked to turn in his department-issued items and was escorted from the premises. The case was forwarded to the Henry County Prosecutor's Office on February 16th for a review of any applicable charges. On February 22nd, the Prosecutor's Office filed formal charges of battery resulting in bodily injury, and Henry County Judge David McCord signed a warrant for Doherty's arrest. Court documents show the warrant was served on Doherty on February 24th. He was booked into the Henry County Jail that day. Doherty was not listed as an inmate in Henry County Jail as of Monday, and no court dates had been scheduled. Folks, there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to unpack here. What's the difference between beanbags and pepper balls? Which one's more lethal? Well, they're both non-lethal weapons. They're both
Is it Isn't a beanbag considered less than lethal and the pepper ball is considered non-lethal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a difference. You hear the difference. A pepper ball is non-lethal and a pepper ball is less lethal. Or excuse me, a pepper ball is non-lethal and the beanbag is less than lethal. Like the beanbag firing from a shotgun could kill you. Less lethal is the beanbag. The pepper ball is non-lethal. Now listen, I imagine in the right circumstances, both of them could probably kill someone. Anytime you are firing a projectile from a gun or a gun-like weapon at a person, I imagine the right instance could occur where they could both kill someone. Just as you could be shot with an actual gun and live. Both of those things can happen. The beanbag is going to do quite a bit of damage to a person, as we know. The victim in Darty's incident coughed a little bit and has a bruise. I've got bruises all over my body. You know, I look like a 24-year-old porn star. I've got bruises all over my body. I'm like, where did those come from? I have no clue. What shoot was I at this morning? All right. Bruises are not going to kill you. The man that was shot by Sproles in the beanbag was taken to the hospital and had to be given stitches. Lots of stitches in both legs. Sproles' inmate bled profusely and needed to be transported by ambulance to the hospital. There's so much to break down in this Sproles deal. I can't even comprehend what's going on here. First of all, that newspaper article was atrocious. Second of all, let's just say this right now. I don't know. I don't know if the gentleman in the incident with Darty needed to be shot with that pepper ball or not. I've not seen the video. I can tell you beyond all shadow of a doubt that the inmate in Sproles' situation did not, beyond all shadow of a doubt, this man did not need or deserve to be shot with this shotgun.
Kick it again, you get another one.
Less lethal shotgun. Kick it again, get another one. He didn't say stop kicking. He's now giving him commands to kick it. See that muzzle flash there? Do you see that muzzle flash? Man, you really see it in this clear video.
Woo! We'll go all day.
Woo! We'll go all day.
You do it again, we'll go all day.
You do it again, we'll go all day.
Get another one.
Kick
it again, you get another one. Kick it again, you get another one. Kick it again, you get another one.
That man was in a jail cell by himself, mule kicking a door. It was making a noise that was going boom, 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 boom. If they would have left that man alone, he would have got tired and he would have set his ass down and been done. Instead, they sent in Rambo here, Mr. T, or whatever, the A team, the B team, the Z team, and they sent this dude in. Now, you notice here, he's wearing a helmet. What did it say that Darty was doing? He was wearing a helmet and had a pepper ball gun. I would much rather be shot with a pepper ball gun than that shotgun right there. I guarantee it. Now listen to me. The difference here is the man doing the shooting there is Sproles, and he's white. All right? The problem with Daugherty, ladies and gentlemen, is to Sproles, well, this is a black man. This is a black man. And that's why I believe that he is in that jail attire right there. I believe that's why he is in that mugshot right there. I believe that is why he is fired right there. I believe that is why he is charged with an A misdemeanor. Let's talk about this. Who in the hell in the prosecutor's office signed off on this? Who signed off on the formal charges? But then, okay. We weren't there. Maybe. Let's have a judge decide. Let the judge decide. But who in the hell from the prosecutor's office said, you know what? We're going to charge this guy with a misdemeanor. I think it sounds like a good idea to walk an arrest warrant over to the judge and have a judge sign off on an arrest warrant. Do you know the Henry County Sheriff's Department had to leave Henry County and drive up here to Muncie to arrest this guy in Muncie? Had to drive up here to arrest him in Muncie on a misdemeanor warrant? I forget what the prosecutor's name is down there in Henry County. Mahoney? I'm talking directly to Prosecutor Mahoney. Prosecutor Mahoney, please get your balls back from John Sproles. If you want, he can shoot them at you from a less lethal gun. But please get them back. You are acting like a weak-minded fool. You are allowing Sheriff Sproles to run your prosecutor's office. Was that arrest the best use of resources? Well, hell no, it wasn't, Mary. Not at all. Just Diane. Now, everybody's asking me, was the inmate white or was the inmate black? Ah, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I almost feel like I have a premonition that I would believe that the inmate was probably a white man. What a twisted world this would be if that's the case. If Sproles shot a black man to the point of causing him serious injury, to the point that he needed to be transported to the hospital, and he's not facing a misdemeanor. He's not being scooped up at his home. He's not being charged. Mahoney, where are you at? Where are you at? Jenna Beth, I will work on that tomorrow, ma'am. Would they have gotten a mug shot without an arrest warrant? Hell no. No, they wouldn't have got a mug shot. They wouldn't have got a mug shot. Look. Sproul, look at him. They've made him look like a criminal. Look, that's a scary looking mug shot. Ooh, he's a scary looking black guy. That right there is what John Sproles saw every time he looked at that man. And to hell with Sproles for that. I don't know this guy, but I imagine he is a wonderful human being. I've got no problem with him. And let me tell you, if he acted inappropriately, I blame that on Sproles. What do you think, Elvante? What do you think? What do you think, man? I'm telling you, bro, if you're still living down there, dude, get the hell out of that county. I'm telling you, listen to me, man. I worry about you. You pop on here every now and then, and every time I need to start calling you because I think about you all the time, bro. I think about you all the time. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if Elvante's doing all right. I wonder how long it's going to be until I hear another Elvante story.
Jeff Wall says he knows him and he's a good kid.
Jeff Wall says, okay, know him. He's a good kid. Sounds like correctional officer wasn't the gig for him, but criminal charges. Yoko, here's the deal. I can't say that. No. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say maybe correct. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe. How old is this kid? Do we know? How this man? I shouldn't say kid. It doesn't say. It doesn't say how old Darty is. Maybe corrections officer wasn't right. Charges are wrong. I don't know what the hell's going on in the prosecutor's office. I don't know what the hell's going on in the prosecutor's office. I'm telling you, man. What goes through my mind is the people on the bus. Is toxic. Man, I gotta say, and I'm so sorry. I always think toxic shock crew. And I know that's not it. What's the name of those people on the bus?
Toxic Elite Force Crew?
Toxic Elite Force. I always think about the Toxic Shock Crew. I always think about the Toxic Elite Force, the people on the bus. You notice I didn't say the black people on the bus. I just said people. Okay? I think about that. I think about Officer Humphreys. Now, listen, I think Officer Humphreys can take care of himself. I think Officer Humphreys would let Sproles know a thing or three. I still worry about him. I worry about Elvante. I worry about Mary and her family. I'll be perfectly honest. I worry about all the white people there. I worry about everybody in Henry County. Sproles is a lunatic. But there is something wild. Folks, this is a great example of why you need to reelect Brian Clark to the coroner's office. You need to reelect Bobby Plummer. And you need to reelect Steve Dellinger. And we'll figure out the council after a bit. This is a great example. Because look, he's already got the prosecutor in his pocket. I'm telling you, Michael Mahoney, that's your name. It just came to me. You are a chicken shit prosecutor. Get your balls back from John Sproles. A misdemeanor warrant. Maybe the jail wouldn't be so overcrowded. The brand new jail down in Henry County to need a revamp already to build a whole nother wing. If we weren't arresting people for misdemeanor driving offenses and misdemeanor battery. But for the love of God, why do we have a picture that looks like this? Okay. And why is Sproles not in a picture in a jail cell right along with him? He needs to be right there. Right there. I don't know. We'll be working on this. We'll be looking at what goes on with John Sproles. I'll be working on getting the information, the video footage, and I will work on all of that, getting that to you. Jenna, I will put that out. And for the people of Henry County, I will cut all of this out and give it to you in a smaller video for you guys to share. So I will be working on getting all of this footage to share with you guys. Working on the footage of the pepper ball shooting, working on all of the reports and all of that. And as soon as I can report that to you all, I will bring that forward. Hopefully it won't take us very long. I'll send that off to Joel, and I should be able to get it in just the next couple of days. But Henry County likes to play dicky-do and dick around with getting record requests. So we'll just kind of see what happens. I'm not really sure, but I will try to get that to you guys soon. But you need to watch for Sproles. I'm telling you, it's nuts. All right. Now, moving on. This is the last piece, and we'll get you guys out of here. I just want to cover just briefly what happened today in the election board meeting in Delaware County, folks. The Delaware County Election Board met at 1 o'clock today. The meeting was to be a part 2 to the part 1 meeting from the other day. If you want to watch part 1, you can find it on our channel. It's called Delaware County Election Board Part 1. All right, Candidate Challenge Part 1. And it was on Thursday, February 22nd, 2028. This is the part 2. Sproles got there, but I couldn't amend. Oh, yeah, Jenna, you're absolutely. It's a mess. I'm going to help you guys however I can. I hope if you haven't, I hope that you subscribe to the channel here and stick around, because we'll do whatever we can to bring this forward. I don't know who's going to run against Sproles. Hopefully we're still a little bit out, but someone needs to be planning. I don't know if it's going to be Landon again or someone else, but somebody needs to. Actually, we need a Republican to challenge him in the primary, and we need a good Democrat or two. And so that's what I would like to see. All right. So moving off of Sproles watch, and now moving on to the Delaware County Election Board Part 2. Okay. This meeting was, I knew it was going to be pretty quick, but I thought that it was still going to be like, they were going to have me testify. I want to show you guys something just really quick here before we get started. And I, for the life of me, cannot understand this. Okay. Do you guys see the microphone? Here's a microphone. Okay. Here is Steve Lindell talking to James King. And here's a microphone. Okay. Here's Josh Talby. And over here is the 1970 style tape recorder. And it's got 2 microphones that run off of it. One runs down to the cord here. Here's the microphone for the Delaware County Clerk's Office. And then here's a microphone for the Delaware County Clerk's Office. Okay. And you see it's on this little stand here. There's a stand. You see this little black thing right here? You see that little black thing on there? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that little black thing that you notice there on that thing is my portable microphone. Okay. Here is the microphone that I use. I've got 2 of them that I take to these meetings. Okay. And so here's this. All right. And hey, you guys know what to do with Harrison. You can eat him or do whatever you want. You can play with him, or you can ignore it. Don't matter either way. I'm fine with him, but I say I have probably a sneaking suspicion on who it is, but you guys are capable of handling that, I'm sure. So here is the microphone system. So what I do is I go in and I magnetize. It's got a magnet strip on the back of it. And so I just stick it to the piece of metal up there by all of the other microphones. That's what you do when you have a press conference or things like this. Matter of fact, you can see this little microphone right here on the table. It's a little bit longer. It's about the size of a phone, and it's got a windscreen on it. That is the microphone that was set down on the table by Mr. Steve Lindell. Okay. Well, here's microphone number 1. That's the microphone that I would be talking into. And it's magnetized to this. The speaker points up towards the chair. Well, right down here at the base end of this over here, that's magnifying. That's mic number 2 that's attached to it. Well, when we walked into the meeting the other day, to meeting number 1, I was the first person in the room. None of these other jokers were here. The microphones were set up, but I was the only person in the room. So I took my mics out and I stuck them, tink, to those microphones down there, and we started the meeting. When the guy came in and told us that we all had to evacuate because of the gas leak, the first thing I did was I stood up and I grabbed my microphone off of the one down here, and I grabbed my microphone here. I reached over Pete Drum's shoulder to do it. He watched me do it. I grabbed those microphones, I stuck them on my shirt, and we left. Today, when I walked in kind of late. They were there. My seat was still empty over here, so I took my seat. I set my camera up. I took my microphones out. I stuck my microphone to this, and I stuck my microphone to this. And these two guys, Rick and Pete Drum, were talking. He watched me do it, never said anything. I sat down. I'm like kind of just waiting. We've got like 5 minutes until the 1 o'clock hour. I sat down. They stopped talking. Pete reaches forward, grabs my microphone, and starts to try to twist it off of it. Was the magnet's pretty strong, but he couldn't get it off. And he's like, "Hey, this is going to need to be moved down to your end." And I said, "What?" I said, "Please don't touch my microphone." And he said, "This needs to be moved down there." And I said, "No, it doesn't." And Rick said, "What?" And he looked at Rick and he said, "He needs to move that." And Rick said, "What?" And I said, "It was just fine where it's at. It's going to stay there. It was there during the last meeting." He said, "You need to move it down there." I said, "No, I don't. I don't need to move it anywhere. That microphone is staying there. That's the microphone for you." He said, "No, you need it down there by you." I said, "My microphone's already down there." He said, "This does not need to be here." I said, "What the fuck? What is the deal with all these old men and the microphones? Doesn't he see the other two microphones? What is that little microphone doing to him? It's the smallest microphone on the table." Like, this blows my mind. It enrages me. So he said to Rick one last time, he needs to move that. And Rick said, he can keep it there. Like, Rick wasn't sticking up for me. He knew that they were not going to win that. And so Pete just looked at me. He looked over his old man's shoulders. Like, I think that they feel like, oh, why did he get removed? What happened? Was it crazy? I don't care, but we can trash people. No big deal.
I'm done. He's talking about our viewers need to go to work at McDonald's because that's the level of their capacity and intelligence. You can say whatever you want about me. I'll even let you talk dirty about Chris. But you start talking about our audience, Nope, we've got a great audience, and you don't get to talk bad about them. I'm sorry.
I love it. So anywho, here's the thing. Like this, it just absolutely kills me. So I just was like, I know that like James was itching to like take me to jail on his cowboy horse here. But I was like, nah, that's going to stay there. So it stayed. Everything was okay. Pete looked at me and I just went, I don't understand, man. Like, it blows me away. Show me that age and country where the rights and liberties of the people were placed on the sole chance of their rulers being good men without a consequent loss of liberty. Absolutely. I'm having a stroke, I think. Sorry. Patrick Henry. Absolutely. So, all right, we get started here. And of course, I put up a thing that said the sound will improve once the meeting starts. Someone still got in a comment and said, what's going on with the sound? All right. The meeting was supposed to start at 1 o'clock. As you see on the clock right here, ladies and gentlemen, it's 1 o'clock on the dot. We're still minus 2 people. I'm like, isn't this supposed to be the government? Aren't you guys supposed to be like efficient? Comical. All right. So he gets here right at the 1 o'clock hour. I'm fine with that. It's still 1 o'clock. I mean, to me, he should have been sitting in his seat ready to rock and roll. He wasn't, it was what it was, but he got there at 1 o'clock. So Hunter's sitting down. So I'm thinking, all right, any minute we're going to start here. Watch this. Watch what happens. Watch what happens to the clock on the wall. Look how long we wait. We're still waiting. Okay. It's now, we're now, several minutes into this thing. Okay. Still waiting. We're still waiting. He's not there. They're literally starting to talk about him at this point. They're like, well, it's Donnie. I called him. He told me he was going to be 5 minutes late, but it is what it is. Someone said he ran into a really long line. Put up, dump. Shh. Okay. So now we're at like 10 minutes. Okay. We're getting here. Let's see where we're at. Okay. It's past 10 minutes at this point. And let me tell you, each minute just seemed like an eternity. This room was hot. Everybody in here, most of the people in this room hate me. It was just like absolutely amazing. So Donnie comes in. All right, here we are.
Okay.
And he like rips his coat off.
So we're going to reconvene, and if you would call the roll, let's make sure we're all here. Okay. I can count, but Mr. Hunter? Here. Mr. Drum? Here. Mr. Spangler present. And let's show that our attorney is present with us. Mr. McClellan is in the house. Okay. Now, we were in the middle of something when a gas leak occurred. Yeah, at the last meeting, we had heard testimony from both Kristopher Bilbrey and Mr. Bookout. Yes. I believe we were at the point where we were ready to propose a motion on that.
We were at the point we were ready to propose a motion.
Since we had heard testimony from both of them. Yes.
Sir, generally in the past, you guys have had the challenger, and then you let the candidate speak, and you give them rebuttal.
I don't recall that at all.
You guys have done that since at least 2019.
I don't see a problem. Mr. Bilbrey, would you like to rebut?
I presume that's why Mr. Bilbrey brought that up.
Please take a seat. You are under oath.
I re-swear if you need me to. Okay, since we left last, I was reminded that I want to make it clear for the record. I think that I agree with everyone here at the table that the notary can be fixed. I don't think that there's a question. I did not know that at the time that I filed the challenge. In preparing for this hearing, I did find that. That's why I knew that when Mr. McClellan brought that to the attention of the board. However, there was a little bit of disagreement on if it needed fixed or what happened there.
Mr.
And
Mike,
I
Mike
recalled
Jones.
a conversation that I had with Mr. Spangler on the 12th. And that was, I called and asked Mr. Spangler on Monday morning if there could be any amendments or anything added to the paperwork. And he stated to me on the 12th that there was nothing that could be added to the paperwork. I'm in an agreement. If we were talking about buying a house or buying a car or power of attorney paperwork, and that you get a notary and the notary messes up there, that the notary can re-sign that and fix that. However, the issue is we are dealing with a deadline. The deadline is the issue. Okay. The problem here is the paperwork was turned in and needed to be turned in at or before noon on February 9th. And had this paperwork been corrected before the 12th hour noon on the 9th, then that would have been perfectly fine. However, the fact that that did not happen, and it appeared from what I heard in testimony that it happened on the 16th, I think that's the problem. The problem here is not whether it can be fixed. It's a matter of when it was fixed. And to make sure, after we left here, last Friday, I sent an email to Valerie Warchaw and Matthew Kochever at the Indiana Secretary of State's office. And I asked them about this issue, and both of them responded. And one of them, Matt Kochever, said, once the deadline to file a candidate form passes, it is not possible for the county clerk to accept any amendments or additions to the candidate filing. This is because Indiana Code 354-1.9, which prohibits a county clerk from accepting a filing that is offered after the deadline. Valerie Warchaw stated, you can't amend the candidacy document after the deadline to file. The deadline this year was February 9th at noon. I can present that to you all if you want to see that, but that's their email back to me. And so it's not an issue of whether this can be fixed or not. It's a matter of when it can be fixed.
Okay. That's true.
Yes.
And what I'll rebut that with is we didn't need a change. You know, when we go back to IC 30.
What I find interesting here, ladies and gentlemen, is the board here. So Pete Drum is the Republican nominee. Joe Hunter is the Democrat nominee, member of the board, and he's the clerk, and this is their attorney. They're supposed to be the board that's hearing the case. You would think that the candidate would be making this argument, which is all the way back here, back by the wall, and they would be hearing it. But ever since this challenge meeting started at 10 a.m. on the 22nd, they have been arguing the candidate's case for him. And so you notice he's like, what I'll rebut your statement with is
342-16-1-A, the failure of a notarial officer to perform a duty to meet a requirement specified in this order does not, it does not need to be there. It doesn't
need to be there.
The act wasn't wrong. I'm trying to get it. There was a mistake made. The act wasn't wrong, and we don't need a correction. That's what that law says. Now, I would agree with you 100%. If he came in here and said, oh, I want to put this down here now, we can't take it. We had that same thing, if you remember, with the Munson file.
Yep.
You had the law the last time, but you ran out of time.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not asking, or I don't see Brad asking for a change here.
I like to hear that he agreed with me on the Munson thing. The problem is we didn't run out of time. Rick just simply didn't do his job. Rick is no longer the lovable all shucks. Oh, Rick is now just a mindless troll along with the rest of the mindless trolls following the Republican body.
Rick is now our unelected governor / legislator and vetoing law and writing new ones for us.
Yes, right.
I'm not going to be here much longer, Kristopher, since I do not need a notary for a power of attorney, which I didn't think of before. I'm just going to make myself the power of attorney for the richest person I could find. And I will be all
no shit. Dude, it blows my mind what this guy is saying. It blows my mind.
So we'll leave that to the board, of course, to decide.
So what about in the 334216(1) where it says the presumed validity of the notarial act under this section does not prevent the injured party from seeking invalidation of the record or transaction reliant upon the incomplete notarial act?
I guess, it's up to you then to challenge it if you want to challenge our decision on that, if that's the decision we make. Okay. All right. Do either you gentlemen have any questions? I have questions.
I don't have questions, no.
Okay. At this point, I'd like to make a motion that we deny Mr. Bilbrey's challenge of Bradley Bookout. All second that. We have a motion and a second. Mr. Hunter?
Well, I went back and reviewed that statute myself. I just want to explain myself a little bit, speak up a little bit so I'm clear. I agree that really what this is a challenge to the notary. And 334216(1) does say that it's presumptively valid. But it also says that under this section does not prevent an injured party from seeking invalidation of the record. And I'm not sure I'm not sure that the status, or I do not think the status that required that
what
makes you a party to challenge the filing, that in and of itself doesn't make you an injured party. You have to be directly injured. That's the way I read it. So I guess, can you read back the motion?
Yeah, the motion is to deny the challenge filed by.
Then on that basis, I will vote to deny. Yeah.
Yes. Mr. Spangler, yes. And Mr. Trump, yes. Challenge denied. Mr. Bilbrey, since you're there,
Sure.
You want to go with the next one?
Yes. Yeah. Just real briefly, I am happy with the board's decision. I'm just glad we're able to set a baseline standard of what goes on from there forward. Okay, in the next challenge, let's see here. I challenged the candidate simply for the fact that after the deadline on the 9th, upon picking up the paperwork, it was clear that the Can 2, nor the Can 12, but the Can 2 mostly is the issue here, was not date and or time stamped, which the
listen to this.
Law states that it has to be date and time stamped, that it has to be received by the deadline at noon on the 9th, and that is the only way citizens can ensure that the process is being secure for everyone and that everyone has the same time and that no one is outside of that time. IC 352-24.5 says filing means the following. 1, for purposes of filing electronic report under Indiana Code 3944, 3957, when the requirements of IC Code 3944 or 3957 have been met. For all other purposes, which I would assume that this is the other purpose since it was not electronic filed, when all of the following have occurred: the presentation of a document to an individual required to receive the document under this title, which would be the clerk or his staff, the receipt of the document by the individual, and the recording of the date and time the document was received by the individual. And as you guys can see on the CAN 2 and the CAN 12, there are no date and time stamps anywhere on the paperwork. And that's the only candidate that I saw out of the documents that I was received that did not have a date and time stamp. So that's the reason for the challenge there.
So as I read the law, first of all, I accepted that file.
Okay.
And I did not state timestamp it. But as I read
Why?
3-5-2-24.5, it does not say that the CAN 2 or the CAN 12 has to be date and timestamp. It says there needs to be a record.
Yeah, you're right.
And I submit
Eric,
to you that I have the CAN 5 that we do after every candidate enters their paperwork. I have a date timestamp from the SBRS system. And every night I run a list of candidates that also has the time that everybody was listed. That is all public record.
Okay.
So I submit that we do have it.
And may I ask what the dates were on those?
Sure.
On that?
Jerry filed the paperwork, and I was also notarized that same day too.
Okay.
And Anderson had a question like this, and they actually went by the notary date. But she filed on February 7th, entered in SBRS on February 7th, and at 5:01 p.m. on February 7th, before I go home every night, I run to make sure the candidates were in, and that CAN 5s were made.
Very good. Well, then with that, with CAN 5, instead of you guys voting, can I withdraw my challenge on Ms. Reagan?
It has to be brought before the board, but I have no objection to that.
I make a motion to allow it.
I will second that motion. That's fine. Let's take a vote on that. Mr. Hunter?
Yes.
Mr. Spangler, yes. Mr. Drum?
Yes.
So
Very
your
good.
challenge was withdrawn.
Okay, thank you.
Pete,
Right,
if you allow
Ed?
me, yes, I have one other thing that I want to bring in front of the board today.
Right. I mean, why not? Why not pull out a piece of paper? Here you go. Next filing. This is what people need to do.
No, next time they have anybody that's next time there's an election in Delaware County, I'm filing.
Yeah, right. Hell yeah, right.
I'm filing. I mean,
You
I
don't
don't
have
need
to
a
live in
notary.
Randolph County?
I don't need it notarized. I don't need a timestamp on it.
Yeah.
I don't need to check every box and do no. I need
The
to-
boxes don't matter. Notary doesn't matter. Residency doesn't matter. Here's my CAN 2.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah,
Kristopher
I mean,
H.
it's
Bilbrey,
just-
want to run for Delaware County Commissioner.
Yeah. I think I'm going to run in Delaware County. I mean, this should be fine, right?
Absolutely. So what the test is going to be, what the test will be is next year we're off, thank God. But in 2 years, to file a candidate without a notary signature and watch them scramble to try to take care of it. That's what's going and kick that person off the ballot. All right. And I'm just asking all of you, don't go anywhere and meet me back here in 2 years because we're going to challenge it. I made a promise to you all last year and I kept my word. And in 2 years, I'm going to keep my word to you. We will run a candidate without and listen, someone might say, well, how are you going to find a note? Because most notaries won't do that. I've already got the notary in mind, and we're going to leave the signature off the notary line, and we're going to test this little theory. And now keep in mind, they say, well, 1 year doesn't have anything to do with each other from year to year to year to year. Doug Neal just says Michael Mahoney lives across the street from me. He's an idiot. I never had a problem with him until he started letting Sproles run the office. But ladies and gentlemen, this was the end of this. This is he goes on and he talks to them about hall pass, having students work at campaign. I'm all for it because look, you can see this. We've got older people in here that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to elections. So we need to start people young, and we need to get it going. So I very much agree. The meeting's adjourned. Here, I'll show you this.
I second that. All in favor, say aye.
Now that's justice served, Troy Ingram says.
Sure. Thank you, and thank you all for attending, and thank you for putting up with the gas. No entertainment this time.
There's Mike Jones. He gets out of there as fast as can be.
What's that?
Finding an impressive.
Oh, yeah. After 5 years, something starts to rub off. You know, the great thing, and a lot of these rules were set up, and all the different ones now everything's
See what happens here.
Here's a good point. If 1 year doesn't matter, why do you bring up Munson?
Right. Absolutely.
Well, that was short.
Yeah.
Out of control. You know, look,
I came up here to kick somebody.
All right. So that was the end of it, ladies and gentlemen. Just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely mind-numbingly stupid. It is what it is. And that is your Delaware County Election Board in action. We've seen election boards in Henry County. We've seen election boards in Randolph County. We've seen election board in Madison County. We've seen 2 meetings in Delaware. We've seen the state, and the whole lot of them do something different. And really only the Henry County Election Board was the only one that acted like they had any kind of brains whatsoever. So I will give my hat tip to them. They could have followed the law. They should have probably followed the law. But since it's like, to hell with it, we throw the rule books out and anything goes. I can deal with that too, as long as it's the same line to line. And that's what we're going to end with. Jack has the last and best comment of the night, and I can't say anything more. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your government. You get what you get, and you can't throw a fit. If you're too lazy, too tired, too apathetic to try to change it, you get what you get, and you can't throw a fit. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to do better this election. All right, folks, it's Wednesday night. There's no more election board meetings that I'm interested in. They're all done. The election board challenges and everything has to be wrapped up by noon tomorrow. I think everything else that I've been following, even stuff we haven't talked about, is clear. Basically, we are done with the election stuff. Now it's campaign season. We'll be following what goes on with that. We are going to get back into following a little bit more with what goes on in the city of Muncie. We got a lot of stuff to talk about as far as Muncie is concerned. We've got a lot to talk about with what's going on at the state government, because state government's getting ready to end their session for this year so they can get into campaign mode. That's ridiculous. And we've got a lot to cover. You guys have been absolutely great. Thank each and every one of you. We will be back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all very much for happening to what I was reading. Alva, thank you all very much for tuning in. I'm waiting for some records to come in for what's going on in Vegas. I've also got records request in for the gas leak, and I've got to put some records request in now to Henry County. So we're going to be looking for some record requests here in the next couple of days and weeks. So you guys have a great evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Oh, let me get the start if there's anything. That would be 9 towards. So what does that mean? 1.3 million. Can you break the video down? I am going to break the video down after Sproles' comment at the election board. Poor guy being super careful. Oh, that was just insane. It's absolutely insane. Sproles Pro, I loved it. What's the difference between beanbags and pepper balls? Which one's more lethal? We answered that. All right, you guys, thank you all very much. We will see you back here tomorrow. Remember, don't forget your 98 cents. Hey, it's 98 cents. I'll give you the penny. Nice. See you guys later. Take care. Good evening. God bless. We will see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye. Jack. So black.